Snow monsters do drink hot chocolate. One flipped out. That's so cool, Howie said. Wow, Melody put down her sled to watch. Look at that, added Liza. The four kids were heading up Demon Hill. All around them, kids were sledding. A few kids, like Eddie, used snowboards, but Melody, Howie, Liza, and Eddie weren't looking at a kid. They were watching a grown-up on a snowboard. Zoom! The grown-up sped down the hill. Swoosh! His snowboard left the ground. Whoosh! He flipped through air. That guy should be on TV, Melody said. Eddie hugged his snowboard. I want to do that. Lizzie shook her head. You could get hurt. Those tricks are too dangerous. I won't get hurt. I'm going to get him to teach me to do a flip, Eddie said. Before he could race over, Howie grabbed Eddie's scarf. Snow monster. Eddie took off as fast as he could, but he forgot one thing: the snow. His boots slipped. Ah! He screamed. He teared his feet one by one. Swoosh! The rest of him went the other way. Wham! Eddie landed on his back and slid down the hill. Help! Eddie screamed. Down, down. Eddie rolled. By the time he reached the bottom of the hill, snow covered the top of his head. Snow struck his mittens, coat, and boots. Eddie's friend sledded down the hill to join him. Eddie, you look like a snowman, Liza told him. More like an abominable snowman, Melody said with a giggle. Or a snow monster, Howie said. Very funny, Eddie shivered. You're freezing, Liza said as she helped him. We need to warm you up fast. I know just the thing, Eddie said. Hot chocolate. Great idea, said Liza. Let's see if your grandmother will take us to Burger Doodle. I need chocolate, Eddie said to his grandmother. He opened the door as a van. Hot chocolate and fast! He flipped into the back seat. Melody, Liz, and Howie tumbled in their friend. Snow dripped off of Eddie's nose, hair, and mittens. Eddie doesn't look like a snow monster now, he said. Melody shook her head. He looks like a drowned rat. His friend giggled as Eddie screamed. Headed down the street to Burger Doodle. 3. Harry Snowden. Eddie looked up into the face of the snowboarder from the hill. He had a face as pale as a snowflake. His jacket and snow pants were as white as the clouds in the sky. Icicles still hung from his hair. There was even a puddle melting of ice by his furry white boots. A snowboarder reached out to Eddie from slipping. Eddie noticed the man's body felt like a solid block of ice. Careful, the man said. Ice cream can be slippery. I hate ice cream, Eddie snapped. And the mom took a step back. Hate ice cream, he said. How can anyone hate ice cream? Hating ice cream is like saying you hate Christmas and Valentine's Day or candy and cookies. Eddie opened his mouth to argue. Before he could say anything, Eddie's grandma and his friends caught up to him. "How do you do, Eddie?" Eddie's grandmother said. "I hope my grandson wasn't bothering you." "Of course not," the man said. "My name is Harry." So then reaching out to shake Eddie's grandmother's hand. "Oh my," Eddie's grandmother said. "You're as cold as your name." "I love the cold," Harry told them. This is the kind of weather I live for." Howie took a step back. Harry snowed and her breath left clouds in the air between them. "Well, it was a nice meeting you, Eddie," Eddie's grandmother said. "Come on, kids, let's go inside. Can I have some hot chocolate?" Now you're talking, Eddie said. "I've never had hot chocolate, but I do love cold shakes," Harry said. "Is hot chocolate good?" "It's great," Eddie yelled. Howie took a close look at Harry as heavy snow started falling over Burgadoodle. He said to himself, but his friends had already followed Eddie inside. Howie's thoughts floated away. They were lost in the falling snow. 4. Splash. "Here are our drinks," Eddie's grandmother said. The 5 of them sipped their hot chocolate without talking. Howie held his warm cup, but he kept looking over steam at Harry. Harry sat by himself. In fact, all the seats around Harry were empty when a waiter walked by. Howie thought that he shivered. If you're not going to drink that, can I have those marshmallows?" Eddie asked without waiting for an answer. Eddie reached out for Howie's mug. Splash! Howie's cup tipped over. Hot chocolate spilled into a table. Liza grabbed the mug just in time to save some of Howie's drink. "Oops," Eddie said. "Sorry," Eddie's grandmother frowned. "I'm going to get napkins to clean this mess up. You behave while I'm gone," she said, while looking directly at Eddie. Eddie groaned. He didn't like to behave, just like he didn't like to wait. Howie didn't care about his hot chocolate. He was still busy watching Harry snow. Then he took a sip from his mug and then gasped. "What's wrong?" Liza asked. "Did the hot chocolate burn your tongue?" Melody asked. "No, but I have something crazy to tell you," Howie said. "Do you play with dolls?" Eddie asked. "No," Howie said. "Do you eat bugs?" Liza asked. "No," Howie said. "Do you sleep with a teddy bear?" Melody asked. "No," Howie snapped. "But even if I did, I wouldn't tell you." Then what is it?" Melody asked. "It's Harry," Howie said. "I think he's a snowman." The 4 kids glanced at Harry sipping his milkshake. Eddie laughed. "Where's his corn cob, pipe, and carrot nose?" Howie shook his head. "Not that kind of snowman. I'm talking about an animal snowman. A yeti. They're secret monsters that hide in mountains or woods. But now no one has come to Bailey City." The kids looked at Harry again. He chugged another cold milkshake. Ice still hung from his hair. Now a big puddle of water formed around his boots. "You're silly," Eddie said. "He's not a monster. I can prove it." Howie asked. Easy, Eddie. Watch and learn. 5. Clumsy. Eddie darted down a table. He hoped that a chair nearly bumped into a waiter with a tray of hot chocolate mugs. The closer Eddie got to Harry, the chillier the air was. Eddie's breath came out in quick clouds of cold air as he snuck behind Harry. Eddie, no! Was a shriek. Just then, Eddie's foot splashed into a puddle around Harry's chair. Only it wasn't a puddle anymore. It had turned to ice. Yikes! Eddie yelled as his foot slipped. Without even turning around, Harry grabbed for Eddie and stood up. He lifted Eddie off the floor. Oh my, my. Eddie's grandmother said as she rushed over. Harry slowly lowered his head to the floor. No worries, Harry said. I just helped your grandson before he slipped on the ice again. He saw the tips of Eddie's ears turned bright red. Eddie's grandmother looked at Eddie. Well, she said, don't you have something to say to this kind of man? Eddie was clueless. Your hands are cold, he told Harry. Eddie's grandmother poked him in the arm. Mr. Snowden just helped you. She reminded you. What did you say? Eddie thought some more. Finally, Liza came up and whispered in his ear. Oh, I get it, Eddie said. Thanks. And now I think it's time for me to get you kids home, said Eddie's grandmother before we get snowed in. Say goodbye to Mr. Snowden. Bye, the kids said as they headed out the door. Snow covered the roads. The snow was piled on the cars. It's going to snow forever, Melody said with a giggle. That's what Howie said too. This is exactly what I'm afraid of. 6. Forever snow. It snowed all afternoon. It snowed all the next day. It snowed and snowed and snowed. Yippee! No school. Eddie yelled when he met his friends at Demon Hill. Melody were making snow angels head. Howie stood offside and stared off the sledge racing down the hill. Bloom! Blam! Eddie tossed a snowball at Melody. Pow! Eddie tossed a snowball at Liz. Melody and Liz threw snowballs back. Plop! Lizzie's snowball fell in the snow by Eddie's feet. Smack! Melody's snowball landed right on Eddie's shoulders. Howie didn't even notice. His face was pale and the snow on the ground. What's wrong? Liz asked as the 3 kids huddled around Howie. The snow, Howie said. Eddie nodded. Isn't it great? Eddie grinned. He clapped his hands and did a happy dance. School will be closed forever, he yelled. Howie grabbed Eddie's arm to get his happy dance. Don't you get it? Howie asked. This is the work of a monster, a snow monster named Harry. Do you really think he has something to do with it? Melody asked. Howie looked at his friends. I do not. Only Harry is a snow monster, but he brought winter to Bailey City. As he's here, there will be no sunshine, no spring, no flowers. We will be stuck with winter forever. Liz gasped. That's so terrible. We have to do something. Melody put her hands on her hips. I'm not saying I believe Howie, she said, but I know how we can prove one way or the other. How? Liz asked. Easy, he said. A snow monster wouldn't like hot things, right? We just have to get him near something hot. Eddie slapped Melody on the back. Good idea. Let's do it. Then Eddie stomped away through the snow. Wait, Melody said. We need to make a plan. 7. Wait. Where are you going? Liza asked Eddie. I'm looking for something warm, Eddie said, staring at the snow hillside. But all I can see is snow. That's why we need to think. Melody told Eddie. Eddie stuck out his tongue in a snowflake landed on it, thinking, it is boring. I know something that's warm that might work, Abby told his friends. But just then a snowboarder whizzed past them. Look, Liza pointed. There's Harry again. The kids stared at Harry, flew into the air snowball, and flipped upside down. Every sledder on the hillside gasped. Wow, Eddie screamed. This is so cool. I don't care if he's a snow monster. I want him to teach me how to do that. Wait, Howie yelled, but Eddie ran as fast as he can towards Harry. It goosebumps. Wham! Melody tickled Eddie. Bam! Howie grabbed Eddie's leg. Smack! Liza jumped on Eddie's head. Get off me! Eddie yelled. Not until you promise to stay away from Harry, Liza said. You could get hurt, Eddie groaned. You guys are no fun. We're your friends, Melody told him. It's our job to keep you safe. It's also our job to keep you from freezing, Liza said. I'm so cold. My goosebumps have goosebumps. Melody looked at Harry as he landed on top of a big pile of snow. She shivered. Only a snow monster could stay out in this cold all day long. Liza sniffled. I don't want to go to sleep tonight with a snow monster on the loose. I'm scared. Don't worry. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Snow on you? Eddie teased. Liza put her hands on her hips. You won't think it's funny when the snow covers your head, your house, the candy store. Eddie grabbed his chest and found the snow. No, not the candy store. I think I have an idea, said Howie. Is it a way to stop the snow? Asked Liza. No, but a way we can see Harry's really a snow monster, replied Howie. Come on, let's go to my house. Hot chocolate man. I'm a hot chocolate man, Eddie yelled. He stood on a chair in Howie's kitchen. Howie's mom had made hot chocolate for everyone. Howie was busy pouring from the thermos. You are a crazy kid, Liza said and told him. Eddie held his arms over his head. No, not chocolate. You are a crazy kid, Liza told him. Eddie held his arms over his head. No, hot chocolate gives me superpowers. I can jump over tall hills. Eddie made a fist. I can outrun a train. Eddie hit his fist into his other hand. I can beat up bad guys. Melody shook her head. Can you make it stop snowing? Melody looked out the window. It has a white it was white everywhere. We have to figure out what to do, she said. Howie nodded. He held up the thermos of hot chocolate. This is my idea. Eddie didn't wait to hear the rest of the plan. He was already pulling his snow boots back on. 10. Gulp. Liza, Melody, and Howie followed Eddie all the way to the hill. Most slitters had gone home because it was so cold. Not Harry. He was still doing his tricks with his snowboard. Eddie stared at Harry. He's amazing, Eddie said. He should be in the Olympics. Did they allow snow monsters in the Olympics? Melody asked. They'd probably have to cancel the Olympics and everything else, Liza said. If it keeps snowing, there won't even be spring soccer. Melody and Eddie both gasped. They loved playing soccer. Can nothing stop this snow monster? Eddie asked. I know what can, Howie said. He held up the thermos of hot chocolate. Give me that, Eddie said. Eddie reached to pull the thermos away from Howie. It's not for you, it's for Harry. If he really is a snow monster, he won't be able to drink anything hot. Howie began to pour some hot chocolate into a cup. But I want some, Eddie said and grabbed the cup. Howie held the cup back. Eddie pulled harder. The cup flew in the air. Harry scarred by. He reached to his hand and grabbed the cup. So basically it's like a picture of him. Give me that. Harry skidded to stop. He sipped the hot chocolate that was left in the cup. Wow, that's good, he said. Do you have any more? Howie poured some more hot chocolate into Harry's cup. Gulp! The snow on Harry's cap melted. Gulp! The icicles hanging from Harry's beard. Harry's beard dripped. Gulp! 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 And the snow under Harry's boots turned to slush. It was great, Harry roared. I have to get some more hot chocolate. Harry jumped on his snowboard and raced down the hill. Oh no, Eddie said. I need to get him to teach me snowboarding tricks. If I hurry, I can catch him before he melts. Liza giggled. I guess he's a snow monster after all. Howie shrugged. Either that or snow monsters do drink hot chocolate. At least they do now, Melody said. The end.